Hello everyone. Today we will be discussing briefly how tax relief on pension contribution works and when you should include the contribution in your tax return if you get to file one. As many of you probably know, the government offers tax incentive to people to encourage people to save for the future. This presents a great opportunity for tax planning, and where most of us don't need to do absolutely anything in order to benefit from this relief, sometimes it is important to include this contribution in our tax return in order to make the most of the relief available to us. Today, we are going to discuss exactly when you need to include the contribution in your tax return, especially if you contribute via PAYE. For those new to the channel, my name is Savino. I'm actually a chartered accountant, and the information that I'll be presenting to you today comes from my own personal knowledge and experience. I hope you enjoyed the video, I hope you found it useful, and please don't forget to like and subscribe for more. So let's take a quick look now to see how tax relief on pension contribution actually works. So if we are a basic rate taxpayer, the tax relief is granted to us automatically and we don't need to do anything. As I mentioned before, HMRC will simply contact the pension provider and the relief will be granted to us without us having to do anything. Now, if we are self-employed and we are high or additional rate taxpayer, it is very important that we include the contribution that we make in our tax return in order to get the additional relief that we are entitled to as additional rate taxpayer or higher rate taxpayer. For employee, the situation is slightly different, and the answer really depends on the type of scheme that your employer choose to use. There are two schemes available. One is very common, one not so common. The first scheme, which is the most common scheme that is being used, is the net payment arrangement. And in this type of scheme, the pension is deducted before any tax is calculated from your salary, meaning that you get the relief there and then, and there is nothing you need to do. If your employer uses this scheme and you get to file a tax return, you don't need to worry to include the contribution in your tax return because you've already obtained the entire relief that you're entitled to. Now, if your employer chooses to use the second scheme, which is called Relief at Source, in this scheme, the pension is actually deducted after tax is calculated and paid to HMRC. And for this reason, as you can see, as opposed to the other one, we actually paying some tax on the contribution made. If your employer chooses to use this scheme, it's very important that we do include the contribution made in our tax return in order to take advantage of the remainder of the relief that we are entitled to. Again, this scheme is not very common, but from time to time we do see it. So my suggestion is please speak to your payroll department and ask them what scheme do they use if you are in doubt. And if you do use the relief as source, make sure you include the contribution in your tax return. So finally, let's summarize who should include pension contribution in their tax return if you file one. So first of all, if you're self-employed and you are a high rate taxpayer, meaning that you earn more than £50,270 a year, you should be including contribution that you make into your self-assessment. Second of all, if you are an employee, you are a higher rate or additional rate taxpayer, and your employer is operating a relief at source arrangement, you should include your contribution in your tax return in order to make the most of the allowance and relief available to you. Finally, don't forget that if you have missed out any years or any claim, you can go back in previous years to make the claim and make the most of the relief available. If you have any question, please don't hesitate to contact us. I hope you have enjoyed the video. I hope you find it useful. And if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you.